Thank you. Now, welcome to our class. Now, last week we have learned about the difference between present perfect simple and present perfect continuous. Okay. Then I remember sending you a kind of picture of a worksheet. Yeah. Now, can you see it?
Yes, this is better.
Yeah. Okay. This is a nice worksheet for you to understand the difference between present perfect simple and present perfect continuous. So here, look at the first picture, A and B. What is the difference between that? What's happening in the first picture? What are they doing? Who are they? There's the mother and
son are preparing cake.
Cake. They are making a cake, they are making a cake. Okay. Have they finished yet? Have they finished?
Oh, no, not finished yet.
They haven't finished it yet. Or maybe, where's the cake? Where's the
in
cake?
the oven.
In the oven.
Maybe they have just finished. They have just finished, but they haven't finished making the cake because on the counter of the kitchen, so you can see all the plates, all the dishes on the counter. But look at the picture B. So have they finished making a cake?
It is finished.
And
They have just finished. They are serving. They are now going to serve it. They are going to serve it. So in the first picture we use, let's have a look at these. There are some sentences. Which one can we use? The first one, for the first one. They have been making a cake or they have made a cake. For A, picture A.
They have been making a cake.
They have been making a cake.
Making a cake.
Picture B.
They have made a cake.
They have made a cake. So we understand when we use present perfect continuous, the action of making a cake may be just finished or will continue. We don't know. But something is in progress. We see the cake in the oven. Now it is being cooked. It has been being cooked now in the oven. And in the second picture, we can say they have made a cake. So the action has completely finished because they are going to serve it. Okay, look at the picture C and D. Let's start. C. What is this person doing?
One woman drinking tea or coffee.
Yeah.
And I think another person.
The same person again, the same person. What is she doing? What is she doing?
Drinking coffee.
Okay, she must have been busy with something else. She has been doing something.
Not now, before time.
Cleaning.
Yeah, but there's
she's putting the picture on the shelf.
Has she fixed the shelf yet? Has she fixed the shelf yet? fixed the shelf on the wall yet.
Not yet. It's empty.
Not yet, because you
Not.
see the drilling machine, driller, and there is
Yes.
driller on the ground, on the maybe on the ground, yeah, on the floor. And what about the next picture?
And
Have you
designing the shelf,
She is putting some
putting the
picture frame,
pictures.
some frames on the shelf. Okay, now the action of fixing the shelf is finished in the next picture. Okay, let's have a look at the thing here. Which one? Number 9 and 10. She has been putting up some shelves, or she has put up some shelves. Which one is the picture C? 9 or 10?
She's putting.
She's
No.
been
She's
putting
putting up some
She has
shelves.
been putting.
She's put up.
she's been putting up
Putting some shells.
some shelves here.
Yes.
Let's have a look at, yeah, in the picture C. But she has, what else in the next one? She has put up
She
some
has put up
shelves.
some shells.
Yeah, she has
Yes.
put up
She has put up some
some
shells.
shelves. So that means the mission is completed, but something is still in progress. That's why we use present perfect continuous tense here. How can you say in Turkish? Rafları, bazı rafları duvara monte ediyor. Monte etmekte, ediyor. Ama is she doing it now? What is she doing? She's drinking some tea or coffee.
Or tea.
She is having a little rest now, değil mi? She's
Yes.
not putting up the shelves yet, now. Şu anda rafı monte etme işlemini bitirmiş değil ama ara vermiş. Ama probably and most probably she will continue putting up the shelf. Yep. And now in the picture D, she has put up. So present perfect, simple. That means completed action. Yeah. Okay. Next one. This one.
Yeah.
E and F.
He has.
Has he
He
been
has been feeding.
Has he been
He has
feeding the baby?
been feeding the baby.
He has been
He has
feeding
been
the
feeding.
baby. Değil mi? But in the next
Yes.
picture,
Yes,
He
fed
has
the baby.
fed the baby. He has
he
fed
has fed the baby because the baby is sleeping. The baby is full. Değil mi? He's not hungry anymore. Okay. And here, let's have a look at this one. He has been feeding the baby. He has fed the baby. Okay. Okay. Now, another picture.
Okay.
Here in the picture G and H. Which one
They
is
They have-
mission completed?
They have cleaned the car.
H.
Picture H.
H.
Gives us, yeah,
Complete.
they have washed or they have cleaned the car, but here they haven't
They have-
finished cleaning the car yet. Değil mi? They
Yes.
are going to maybe continue cleaning the car, and they
Maybe
are going
finished
to give
water.
themselves a little rest. Maybe they are tired, but the car is still dirty. Or they might have, maybe, they might have just finished. Yani, we don't know. It could be just finished or will continue. Okay? And let's say the first one, they have been washing the car.
Car.
And the second, they have washed the car. So here we are interested in the period of time they have been washing the car. Saatlerdir, 2 saattir maybe, for 2 hours they have been cleaning the car. But they have cleaned 1 car. They have washed 1 car. How many cars have they cleaned? Only 1 car.
Only one. They
How
have.
many question goes to present perfect simple, and how long question goes with the present perfect continuous. Okay? Ne kadar süredir bu işi yapmaktalar? Kaç tane araba yıkadılar? How many cars have they washed? Or how long have they been washing? So, what are they doing? Are they decorating their room?
Yes.
Yes.
They are decorating.
Okay. Okay.
So,
Yes.
which one is present perfect continuous?
I
Picture
picture.
J,
no.
I think J.
Okay.
Sorry. Present perfect continuous, I said.
Present perfect J.
Continuous.
Okay.
J, and I is present perfect
Right.
simple. So we say here, they have, let's say, they have been decorating their living room. Picture J. They haven't finished it yet.
Yes, continue now.
Bitirmemişler. Dekore etmekteler. Etmekteler. They have decorated their living room. Mission
They
completed.
have decorated.
Their living room. They have decorated their living room. Peki, the last pictures and packing. She has been packing to go on holiday, or she has packed to go on holiday. Which one? Picture
Packed.
L, picture K.
L present for perfect continuous.
And
Picture.
K, present
Okay.
perfect
Perfect.
simple.
Simple.
She has finished packing. Değil mi? She has finished packing, so she is ready to go on a holiday.
Holiday.
And the other one, the picture L, she hasn't completed packing up yet, because you see there are some outfits, there are some socks and clothes on the floor. Okay, so maybe it will be useful for you to see the difference between two tenses using these pictures. I hope they will be useful for you to understand. Okay, any questions about it? Present
No.
perfect, simple question.
No.
Okay, now here there was a reading text for you, a tragic dynasty, and let's listen to the story and then try to understand what the tragedy was. Okay. Ready?
A tragic dynasty.
Okay, I'll be happy if you mute your microphones as well. Thank you. Yeah.
The Getty family is one of the richest families in the world, yet it has been plagued by tragedy for generations. The family are proof that money cannot buy happiness. John Paul Getty I, 1892 to 1976. John Paul Getty I was an American businessman. He founded the Getty Oil Company, and in 1957 was named the richest living American. He was one of the world's first billionaires. A keen collector of art and antiques, he built the J. Paul Getty Museum in Los Angeles, California. He left over $661 million to the museum when he died. He moved to England in the 1950s and bought a 16th century Tudor estate, Sutton Place near Guildford. This house became the center of the Getty Oil Company, and he used it to entertain his British and Arabian oil friends. Paul I was famous for his meanness. He installed a payphone in Sutton Place for his guests' use. He died there on June 6, 1976, aged 83. Getty married and divorced 5 times in his life. He had 5 sons with 4 of his wives.
John Paul Getty II, 1932 to 2003. John Paul Getty II was the son of Paul I's 4th wife, Anne Rourke. His parents divorced when he was 3. The young Paul II rarely saw his father, but he wrote to him. His father never answered the letters. He just returned them with the spelling mistakes underlined. In 1956, he married his childhood sweetheart, Gail Harris, and had 4 children. They moved to Rome, where Paul II ran Getty Oil Italiana. They were a popular, party-loving couple, but alcohol and drugs took control of their lives. They divorced in 1964. 2 years later, Paul II married the Dutch model Talitha Paul. This also ended in disaster. She died of a drug overdose in 1971. Paul II and Paul I had one thing in common. They were very bad fathers. In 1973, Paul II's eldest son, John Paul III, was kidnapped in Rome, and a ransom of $17 million demanded. His grandfather refused to pay, saying, "I have 14 other grandchildren." An envelope arrived from the kidnappers. Inside was Paul III's ear, and a note, "This is Paul's ear. If we don't get some money within 10 days, then the other ear will arrive." Paul I finally paid $3 million, and his grandson was released. Paul II moved back to England, and in 1997 became a British citizen. He had inherited $2.5 billion from his father. He donated over $2.25 million of this to the arts. In 1994, he married his 3rd wife, Victoria Holdsworth. It was Victoria who helped him finally beat his drug addiction. He died in 2003 and is buried in Westminster Abbey.
John Paul Getty III, 1956 to 2011. John Paul Getty III spent his childhood in Italy. His parents divorced when he was 9, and after that he saw very little of his father. By the age of 15, he had been expelled from 7 schools, and he was already taking drugs. Then in July 1973, when he was 16, came the kidnapping. He was imprisoned in a cave in the mountains for 5 months, until his ear was cut off and his grandfather finally paid a ransom. Paul III never recovered. He returned to a lifestyle of parties and drugs. In 1974, aged 18, he married Gisela Zacher, a German model, and moved to Los Angeles. He was just 19 when his son Balthazar was born. Paul III was now an alcoholic and drug addict, and in 1981, at just 24 years old, he took a drug overdose and had a stroke. He was in a coma for 6 weeks and afterwards he was paralyzed, nearly blind, and unable to speak. His father, Paul II, like his grandfather before, refused to help. Paul III and Gisela divorced in 1993, and he was looked after by his mother Gail until his death on February the 5th, 2011. He was 54.
Yeah.
Balthazar Getty, born 1975. Balthazar Getty, the great-grandson of John Paul Getty I, was born in California in 1975. He is an actor and a musician. When he was 11, he was sent to Gordonston School, an elite boarding school in Scotland, which has educated 3 generations of the British royal family. Balthazar has been working in film since he was 12 years old, when he was given the leading role of the schoolboy, Ralph, in the film Lord of the Flies. He's made many films since then, including Young Guns 2 and Natural Born Killers. He has also been in TV shows. Recently, he has been appearing in the hit ABC series Brothers and Sisters. Balthazar has also worked as a fashion model, and in 2000 he married fashion designer Rosetta Millington. They have a son, Cassius Paul, and 3 daughters. The marriage almost ended in 2008 when Balthazar was photographed kissing the actress Sienna Miller. He has since returned to his wife. So far, Balthazar's life has been more successful than his father's and grandfather's. He says, "As a child, I really didn't know what it was to be a Getty. I had a pretty modest upbringing."
Yeah. Here is the story. How did you find this story? Their life story. Do you think they have, had a very, very, disastrous tragedy?
Yes, disaster.
It's a real disaster. It was a real disaster. Okay, now let's correct the information below. It was your homework as well. And the first, correct the information about him. Okay, John Paul Getty, the first, made his money from art and antiques.
Yes, it's true.
From oil. Look at the first part. How did he made his, John Paul Getty?
Oh yes, Getty Oil Company.
Getty Oil Company.
Yes.
He founded, here,
Mhm.
he founded, here, let's say, he founded the Getty
Yes.
Oil Company. He was one of the world's first billionaires. Okay,
Mhm.
that's why. Okay, now look at the other question. He was one of the world's first millionaires.
Yes, it's correct.
Yes, he was one of the first billionaires, sorry. He built the Jean Paul Getty Museum in Guildford in England.
Yes, correct.
In Los Angeles. Okay, the second part of this, sorry, look at this one. He built the Getty Museum in Los Angeles, not in England. Yes?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, go on. And here, he used his house in England to entertain British and American oil friends.
Mm. Yes.
Thanks.
Yes, right.
Yes, he used
This is
it to entertain. Yes. oil, Arabian oil friends. Okay, that's right. And then he was famous for his generosity. Generosity. What does it mean? If you are generous, that means you like spending your money or sharing your money with others. If you are a
Cömert.
generous person.
Cimri.
Cömert.
Cömert.
What is the opposite? What is the opposite?
Cimri.
Selfish or mean. Mean. Selfish or mean. So let's say generous. Right. Next. Yeah, generous. Generous. Adjective. That's the opposite. Mean. Here. Okay. Or sometimes we use generous or selfish. Opposite as opposite. Selfish, mean,